another ASMR video here on the channel. Now today we're back with another MCU video, another MCU trivia video, as you can tell by the title and also the red, which you can kind of see, but whatever. But I basically did a video previously, it was quite a few weeks ago now, where I tested my knowledge and answered questions myself, basically to brag about how big of a nerd I am, I guess. But somebody, a viewer, gave the suggestion, if I can find the comment, I'll pop it up here, gave the suggestion of doing like a pub quiz style video where I ask you guys the questions. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I've grabbed a handful of these 140 questions. We're not doing all 140. I've grabbed a handful of them and I'm going to ask you, the viewers, the questions and repeat the multiple choice answers. Repeat the question, giving you some time to think, and as you're relaxing, unwinding, if you're falling asleep, that's fine. Don't feel the need to answer, but if you're just watching this to unwind, then why not test your MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, knowledge? So I think, without further ado, let's get into the first question. Question number 1. Who are the adopted siblings from the Guardians of the Galaxy films with a bitter rivalry? Now, how this trivia game works, actually, you can choose whether to have no options, 2 options, or all 4 options. So, as you're thinking about that, see if you can answer it. This is quite an easy one. See if you can answer it without any options. Who are the adopted siblings from the Guardians of the Galaxy films who have a bitter rivalry? Now here are some options. We have Aisha and Irani Rael, Yondu and Ronan, Rocket and Groot, or Gamora and Nebula. Little drum roll. The answer is, of course, Gamora and Nebula. That's a relatively easy one. I don't want to go too fast with these, but I also don't want to spend ages on every question. Another pretty easy one. Who else is able to pick up Thor's hammer in Avengers Endgame? One of the most sort of iconic scenes, one of the more exciting scenes in that movie, of course. Who else is able to pick up Thor's hammer in Avengers Endgame? Is it A, Iron Man, B, Captain America, C, Scarlet Witch, or D, Pepper Potts? And the answer is, of course, Captain America. He is worthy. Question number 3. Which planet do the Guardians of the Galaxy help protect from Ronan the Destroyer? Which planet do the Guardians of the Galaxy help protect from Ronan the Destroyer? In Guardians of the Galaxy 1, of course. Is it A, Vormir, B, Morag, C, Earth, or D, Xandar? Drumroll, and the answer is, of course, Xandar, which was to then get decimated off screen, which is nice. Okay, what does Captain America say when he is told he has been asleep for almost 70 years? So we're looking for the quote here. What does Captain America say when he's told he's been asleep for almost 70 years? I mean, he says a few things at the end of that film, but what's like the main memorable line that he says? Is it A, what year is it? asleep for how long? And the answer is, I had a date. B. Kind of sad. Well, very sad actually, but he gets his happy ending in the end, doesn't he? What were Loki's last words to Thanos in Avengers Infinity War? So again, looking for a quote, a direct quote from the first, 10 minutes of the movie. Got it? No, you need options. Okay, fine. A. You will never be a god. B. You won't win this. C. They will stop you. D. This isn't over. It could be any of them, to be fair, but the answer is, of course, you will never be a god. And then he slumps to the floor nicely. Next question. What is Shuri, Princess of Wakanda's specialty? What is her specialty? I guess this is kind of like, it would be relatively difficult to get this exact phrase bang on, but you know, realistically who's scoring, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt if you get it close. So what's Shuri's specialty? Is it A, strategic planning, B, historical documentation, C, financial management, or D, technological advancement? So A, strategy, B, history, C, finance, or D, technology? And the answer is, of course, technological advancement. I mean, that would be pretty funny if, T'Challa's off, going on crazy missions, and Shuri sat behind a desk, sorting out the accounts. Next question, anyways. In Thor, which character is frozen by Loki, but able to break free in order to bring Thor, Lady Sif, and the Warriors 3 back to Asgard? That's quite an easy one. The first half of that question I was thinking maybe a bit more difficult, but maybe that's because I haven't watched Thor that many times. But yeah, the dude with this great power. A, Odin, B, Hawkeye, yeah, C, Heimdall, or D, Bruce Banner. Drumroll please. It is of course Heimdall. I can't help but feel that Idris Elba was massively wasted in the MCU, but maybe they'll do a recasting thing, because I can't think of the name of the actress, but she was a blue thing in Captain Marvel. Minerva, is that her name in Captain Marvel maybe? But she's now been recast as one of the Eternals, which I am excited for, because I think it should be it looks pretty different, and the CG for the lasers from Armor Bad Fan, I can't remember his name, but King of the North, can I have that? Yeah, the CG looks incredible, very excited for that. Where does the Ancient One take Stephen Strange in a final attempt to help him master the sling ring? Where does the Ancient One take Stephen Strange in a final attempt to help him master the sling ring? I don't know, I don't really like the phrase sling ring. I feel like a lot of the things in Doctor Strange have quite mystical names, and it's just sling ring. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, the options: A, the Sahara Desert, B, the Avengers Tower, C, a Russian Hydra facility, or D, Mount Everest. And the answer is, of course, Mount Everest, which he escapes by the skin of his teeth. What is the name of Hela's giant wolf? The name of Hela's giant wolf. Now I can't options are A. Mangog, B. Lyson, C. Werethut, and D. Fenris. Drumroll. The answer is Fenris. That's way too easy. What is the final quote in this sequence? Where is Gamora? Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora? So good. So, is it A, I'll do you one better? Why is Gamora? Is it B, I'll do you one better? When is Gamora? I'll do you one better. What is Gamora? Or I'll do you one better. How is Gamora? And the answer is, of course, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? Such a funny moment from Infinity War, of course. Which Avenger began as liaison between Stark Industries and the United States Air Force? Pretty easy one, in my opinion. Most of these are like relatively easy, but there are like a few more tricky ones thrown in. The options are A. Black Widow, B. Iron Man, C. War Machine, D. Falcon. And the answer is, of course, C. War Machine. Or Rhodey. Interesting. Would I have got this? Honestly, I don't think I would have got this one, just because I don't like the film. What are the warships used by the Dark Elves called? What are the warships used by the Dark Elves called in Thor: The Dark World? You got it? No, you need the 4K. Cool. Is it A. Arcs, B. M-ships, C. Serpents, or D. Carriers? And the answer is A. Arcs. I definitely would not have got that. Not a great film. Not as horrific as a lot of people make out, but it's not great. It is not great. At the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, what does Yondu find in the container which Quill tells him contains the orb? Well, oh yeah, no, they're right. I thought there was a mistake there, but no, it's the silver replacement orb thing, which he says, yeah, has the Power Stone in it. Is it A. mixtape, B. a sorry note, C. nothing, or D. a toy? A mixtape, sorry note, nothing, or a toy? And the answer is, of course, a toy. Is those stupid little doll things with the purple spiky hair. Oh, cool. Right, what was the name of the actor pretending to be the Mandarin? You get 1 point for first name, you can have 2 points for if you get his second name as well, because that would be impressive. I don't think I would have got his second name, even though I've just watched Shang-Chi for the second time, and he makes an appearance in that. Apologies if you haven't seen it yet, but like realistically, you're meant to be a Marvel fan, why haven't you seen it yet? Is it A. Tony Platt, B. Timothy Slither, C. Thomas Helms, or D. Trevor Slattery? And the answer is Trevor Slattery. Yeah, it was like quite a funny cameo. Well, it was sort of a cameo. He was in the final act, at the end of the middle act, say, or just the third act, probably. And he's very funny. Ben Kingsley plays that role very well, like a moron basically. But side note, I absolutely loved Shang-Chi. Definitely a top 10 Marvel movie for me. Does it break top 5? I'm not sure. It comes close. I'd say it's definitely top 7. In Avengers Endgame, what does Iron Man do when he sees Spider-Man in the final battle scene? In Avengers Endgame, what does Iron Man do when he sees Spider-Man? In the final battle scene, what does he do? Does he A, shout at him, B, shakes his hand, C, hugs him, D, avoids him? Imagine, that'd be amazing. Is of course C, hugs him. Another nice heartwarming moment before Tony gave the ultimate sacrifice. Anyway, when does Steve Rogers learn that Sharon Carter is Agent Peggy Carter's niece? When does Steve Rogers learn that Sharon Carter is Agent Peggy Carter's niece? Yeah, right, so I'm going to read out the options quickly just so I can get onto my point. A, shortly after he wakes up after 70 years. B, during the Hydra uprising. C, when she is undercover as his neighbour. Or D, at Peggy's funeral. And the answer is at Peggy's funeral. Now I've just got to say this, like, Captain America moved a bit mad in Winter Soldier, like, well, his sort of story arc, fall in love with Peggy, get frozen in ice, come back years later, find out Sharon Carter is Peggy's niece at the love of his life's funeral, then proceeds to get with said niece for them to him just go back in time to get back with Peggy. Like, I don't know, moving a bit sus, mate, but yeah, he first discovers that at Peggy's funeral. Well done, if you got that wrong, right? Right, we'll do a few more. What metal does Ultron recreate himself in Avengers Age of Ultron? What metal does he use? Is it A, adamantium, B, uru, C, vibranium, or D, carbonadium? It's C, vibranium, of course, vibranium. What is Hela, the goddess of? What is Hela, the goddess of? Pretty easy one. Is it A, death, B, war, C, darkness, or D, evil deeds? You could argue all of them, but she is the goddess of death. I'm Hela, the goddess of death. What were you the god of again? Good scene. In Avengers Infinity War, Captain America comments on Thor's new haircut. What is Thor's reply? Is it A, I notice you copied my beard? B, I don't want to talk about it? C, not really sure what happened? Or D, thank you for noticing? And the answer is, of course, I noticed you copied my beard. And he then says, this is my friend, Tree. What are the Avengers eating after the Battle of New York in the 2012 end credit scene? What are they eating? It's mentioned in the main movie, and then in the end credit scene they're eating it. Is it A, pizza, B, ice cream, C, shawarma, or D, noodles? The answer is, of course, shawarma. And we're gonna finish with this question. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which of Yondu's lieutenants leads the mutiny against him? Who leads the mutiny against Yondu in Guardians 2? Pretty memorable, this one, but is it A, Electroface, B, Taserface, C, Zingatos, or D, Razorfeet? Drum roll for the last question. It is, of course, Taserface. So that's going to conclude it for this ASMR MCU trivia quiz. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you managed manage to relax to it as well as flex to yourself your Marvel knowledge. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And until the next video,